So thank you for joining me. I've just opened up a chat, and what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly run through a little bit of discussion about Sonar Qube 5.4 actions, and then we'll have a quick demonstration. So Sonar Qube 5.4 came out a few weeks ago, and one of the interesting things that came out, or was that has been in development for a while, that came out is this concept of action plans. So what action plans are is a way of remediating quality issues within your source code. So when I say a way of remediating quality issues, what it's way is way of planning ahead or your intention to fix quality issues. So in your day-to-day development, you often might find as you're touching a piece of code, you may refactor it as required by some piece of new functionality, and what that often means is that you more than likely address or look at issues in code on a requirement based on requirements. So what we're looking at with action plans is how to look at managing your code quality from a code quality perspective rather than a technical, or rather from a particular implementations perspective. So we'll just navigate around here. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and find our main dashboard, home dashboard, and we're going to go to our list of issues. And so what we're here is we're looking at our overall list of issues that have been raised as part of the analysis, and so we can see here there's a lot of issues, and to look at trying to remediate all these is a bit of a daunting task. And not only is it a daunting task, you might be looking at remediating things that may not give you the best bang for buck. So what you might do is take a particular path remediation. You might pick some of the low-hanging fruit first. You might look at some of the things like dead code or unused code. So what you might be thinking is that's a good way of improving the code quality, because it improves the clarity of the code by removing unused code, and it actually helps with performance. So you can have a bit of a business. You can go to the business and say, we want some funding to do this particular piece of remediation, because even though it does pretty up the code and you may not see any great benefit, it does actually make the code faster to run, which means you can get slightly more transactions potentially through a day, which means you can process more work for the same amount of hardware. So we go to our issues. What we might do is find, if we go and let's try and find how to for example, rules. If you look at our rules, and we'll go look in for so we go look in our rules for unused. And message broker, for example, because that's where our product's aiming for. So we've got two rules here. We've got unused variable, unused method. So let's go look at our unused variable rule. And we can see here we've got 36 references in our project to unused variables. So what we can do here is we can expand our usage. And it helps us drill into our unused piece of code. And what we can do is and we can decide whether or not we want to fix it. So we might look at that and go, well, okay, that's not assigned, not planned, and we can actually go, we're going to close that. And we're just going to say, well, that's actually to do with the way the function's being called. So it's so we could say, well, no need to do with the way the function is called. Next time, hopefully, someone looks at that, they can see that we actually don't need to do anything with it. So we're going to comment on that. And it's really see that we flag that issue not to be fixed by the administrator. In this case here, we can look at here and we can say, well, this sounds like a piece of an unused method. So what we might, well, unused variable within a method. So we might decide we want to fix this one. So what we have here is we have an unused variable with an unused method, and so we might decide we actually do want to fix this. So what we're going to do is it's told us it's minor, which we consider as minor because it doesn't affect the actual functionality. It just affects the quality of the code and the performance of the code. We're going to leave it as open, and we can confirm that it's open still, confirm that it's an issue. We haven't assigned it to anyone yet, but what we're going to do here is we're going to assign it to our action plan. And we're going to have some comments, need to fix the whole procedure. So we now have flagged that particular issue within our action plan. So now what we can do going forward is we can go back to a dashboard for our project. Publication. We can look at our custom dashboard, and within our custom dashboard, we can see here that we can also do with filters. We can see here is we've got an action plan open, and within this particular action plan, which we've created, we have 6 issues. So what we're going to do is we can now look at our 6 issues within our action. Oops. We can look at the 6 issues within our within our action plan. We can say these are the ones we're going to try to fix. So what we might do as part of this is we now might assign that to someone. In this case, if we had users, if we had a real group of users, we could assign it to people so that people will be able to see it individually. Or if you have the Jira plugin enabled, you'll be able to see it via Jira, so you'll be able to actually create tickets. So in this case, what I'm going to do is assign it to the administrator. Okay, and what I'm quickly going to do is go to administration. And what we're going to do is just quickly go into security and go to users. And what we might do is just create a local user. And Richard. Password is Richard. I'm just going to create the user. So we now got Richard created as a user. And we'll just create one more user. Create Mary. So now we've got 2 users in an administrator. So we're going back to our project. As we go back into our project, we go back into our dashboard. We can look at our issues within our action plan. in this case, I can actually not assigned anyone search. Not assigned to anyone. I should be able to assign it to Richard. Which is me. I can then assign that to Mary, our other user, and then divide up the work to be done. And if we go back to our we can see we had 6 issues assigned. We've got a particular date for our action plan, and we've given a name to our action plan. So we can maybe tie our action plan to our release, or action plan to a particular date. Just try, and with the aim of trying to get as many of these issues as resolved as possible. But what it also means is that we can do some useful things, like we can filter by action plan. So we've got 341 issues outstanding that Sonar has identified as potential quality, code quality improvements or potential bug fixes. And we've said here we can go find the 6 that are assigned to an action plan. Now here, if I log out of Sonar, I log in as go back into here, custom dashboard. Now I'll go to over to issues, and we can see here we've got false positives. We've got a whole bunch of issues. New search. So we've just found all the issues, and now we've got assignee. Oops. We can actually go see that I've got 1 issue assigned to me, just in much the same way that you would with, say, TFS or Jira or one of the other work tracking systems. We can see here that I've got something assigned to me to fix on the back of something that was done out of code review, the state code analysis, I should say. So that's how you use an action plan. So what I'm going to do is log out as of Sonar as this user and log in again as admin, and quickly show you that how you more administration, how you can actually go in and create security project system, more. Let me just quickly go in and show you how to create an action plan. So we've got issues. Administration relating to this project. So we get administration relating to this project, and we can go into action plans. And we can see we've got all these action plans here, and so what we can also do is create a new one. And so we're going to say we have a second release. We can say action plan for Christmas release. Due for, and we'll say Christmas. Which is actually on the 25th. Fixes we'd like to do. So now we've got, so you can see we've got a second action plan with some issues. Now let's go into our other issues. And so we can see here we've flagged some issues to be fixed, and what we want to do is say, well, the person did actually do some work and fix the issue. Fixed And so in theory, we look at action plans. Oops, let me go action plan for demo. We can see it's fixed. If we go to our let's go back to our dashboard. Go back into our custom dashboard, and we can see here that now we've got one of the 6 issues that have been created fixed. So we've got 346 unresolved issues still. So that's a new useful feature for our Sonar 5.4 that some people might use in place of potentially a code review tool, because what we can also do is, if we look at our code, our issues, and as we're working through our issues, let's we just look for nope, might be easier just to browse our source code. So if we go through our code, and pick a piece of SQL file. What we can also do now is create what's called a manual link, a manual issue. So what you might want to do is pick a piece of code, oops, and go add a manual issue, unused bad code. We should of these comments. So we're going to do so we just need to do is double check our rules. Let's just find the rule that it should be. R165. So if we go into back into our properties profile, we go back into our home. Oops. Go back into our code. Check our code. Okay. I might just need to investigate creating manual links for message broker code, but in theory, what you can do is pick on a piece of code and enter a comment and add that as a manual issue. For example, where you can also flag things that may not have been picked up in static code analysis, but are something that may have been identified manually to fix or to rectify going forward. So that's the new Sonar 5.4 issues. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. My contact details are on our website. or via Richard at bettercodingtools.com. Thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of your day.